already started the show.
Let's go. That's fine.
So we are live now. Okay, great. Okay. Okay. All right. You can introduce yourself. It's your show and you can just take it away.
Okay, so yes, my name is Kwabena and Marie. I'm a Ghanaian, an African. I live in Ghana. I actually train as an engineer, first degree engineer, second degree engineer. I'm an entrepreneur. We have done a bit of projects in construction and engineering. We have retail shops in the most in Ghana. We are into fashion retail. And with my wife, actually, Marie. And we have development companies. We did all this right from Ghana, from zero. And some of the journeys that we have gone through, I think that we can share with a lot of our people, both home and both abroad. So thank you. And I've watched you several of your videos.
Thank you. I appreciate that. No, I'm like highly honored. Yeah. And thank you for the books that you sent. Thank you very much. Yeah. Just in case you guys don't know, he is an author as well. Yeah. What is the name of your book?
That's Perspective, how to develop a mindset to start and build your business, how to start to build your business.
Okay. So what are we talking about today? What are we going to
All right. We are talking about how we can survive, how to survive as diasporans coming to Africa, coming to Ghana.
Or the mind. I think you had mentioned something regarding like the mindset. That's
mindset. How to develop the mindset to survive here. The mindset is that.
I want to know what your thoughts are first. I have some thoughts on it, but I want to know how you feel about it, being that you are from the land.
Yes.
How do you feel about, how do you feel about a diaspora and what you think that they should know about the continent before coming here, and the type of mindset that they may want to consider prior to coming?
Okay. A lot of the times when we talk to diasporans, those, whether they were born here, they moved, or they were born entirely there, transgenerationally, a lot of times they have this Western approach, which means that they think that if you're here, you have to come to their level in terms of everything, in terms of technology, in terms of business, in terms of even culture. A lot of Africans think that if you're here, it means that you are not exposed. You don't know much about life. So when they come to Ghana or to Africa, is it that they want to connect with the very low, or the app? As a matter of fact, the app, whether they are here or they have traveled, they also think like the so they live a world apart from all of us. Okay, so to connect, you need a lot of surgery on yourself, to understand that these are my people. This is what they have been through. They are trying, they have survived, they have a lot of victories, they have a lot of failures as well. Our education system is not different from a lot of the education that we have had. Our advantage is the culture, the family setting, the marriage setting, the things that we grew up, which when you take it to another level, it meets the Western setting. And that's where sometimes it crumbles. What I mean by that is when you meet a white man and you're from Ghana, you are never used to somebody thinking that you are black, therefore you are not intelligent. Only when you meet somebody outside the continent, or you meet somebody who has been brought up in the Western culture, who will link your skin to your level of intelligence. So that becomes, I remember when I was going to school in Europe, I was shocked that somebody would think that you are less intelligent because of your skin. It was something strange to me. So that setting to raise that knowledge based on what you have, the stability, the foundation that we have in Ghana or in Africa, to that level to deal with this setting, to deal with this thinking that I know I'm not inferior, I know I'm not less. Somebody thinks I'm less because of his miseducation on me, and that's where sometimes something like Pan-African education, history is so much important, because when we were going through school in Ghana, they taught us about the traditions, the culture, and everything, but they didn't teach us about what the West think of us. and the systems and institutions that they have built to make us continue to struggle as we so
wow. Okay. Yeah. Okay, so you're giving me a broader understanding as to those who are possibly born on the continent, and then they go abroad and they develop some sort of ideology of, I'm better than you. When they come back, you need to get to my level.
Yes.
Okay. So from my perspective, as a diaspora who was born out in the West, and wants to come back this way, we have a different type of issue happening, where we don't understand the continental Africans and what they've gone through to achieve, or if they've been able to achieve what they wanted, So you have the dynamic of the so-called educated one who leaves. And then we have those that may not be as educated, but are still worthy, those who may not have been educated, but those who have also been educated here. So the perspective that I'm looking at, oh my God, they're so diverse, but I see why there's a need for more communication now. Because I'm like, oh my God, okay. So not only do we have this problem of white supremacy, we have a problem when we come back. How are people, immersing themselves within the cultures with whatever level that you're coming with, and to still show respect for those who were already here and have been educated using the Ghanaian educational system or wherever, And so I think that is extremely important to understand that those who have been educated on the continent are not only not only are they educated, but more qualified than those who might have gone to the West. I've seen it for myself. So I totally get what you're saying. It's a matter of perspective, So how do we help our diasporas to understand the significance of what is it called, eating locally, and with regards to those who have been educated on the grounds?
I think that we should understand that the kind of education, the kind of race education that they have given us,
education.
Yes, race education that they have given us is largely it's false. It's false. It's not true. The kind of religious education that they have given us is also largely false. And these two institutions they use to subjugate her to a large extent. If you look at how education was introduced to us recently, they say it's the education, which is questionable because we were living. So how can you say that you came to educate us? The fact that I don't speak your language does not mean I'm not educated, So let's say when they started to put them in class and they started to recondition them, they started to use the religion, the Bible largely. Way before that, Islam had come and had destroyed a lot before the Europeans came, Now, this kind of education was not taught us. You have to do it yourself before you even think of coming here, or before you even think of reconnecting again. You have to know that there's a whole bunch of education that you have to do yourself to study this for the last 300 years, 400 years, 1,000 years, 2,000 years. You need that strength because it's like the root. If you have not gone through deep, any wind will blow you. That's why when you come, you will see all the poverty. You see all the tribalism. You see all the politicians who are not truthful because you don't have the structure. You don't understand it. A lot of our people just, like the whole building is not good and you just fix it the door. And you think that once you fix the door and you paint it, everything will be right. It's largely not so. So I'm very much comfortable with Africans, whether they are African American or Jamaicans or live in England. Once they have corrected this part of history, it's so refreshing dealing with them. Once they connect with that. So for me, that is the main thing. It goes beyond the religion. It goes beyond the school education. It goes beyond profession. The fact that the person has taken time to study it intentionally, you will stop to ask a lot of these questions that Africans and both everywhere ask, because now you have constructive understanding of the real issues of Africa. So the history is for me the first key. Correct me. Then when you come, you can understand the culture. You can understand the people. Then you start to believe in yourself. You start to believe in the continent. You become giant. Without the history, anything can move you. And not the one that the white people are teaching you.
Okay. So what you're pointing out is the root of, your position and your geographical location when it comes to Africa. Excuse me. So no matter where you're coming from and where you've been educated, you're saying that there's a lack of history with regards to who we truly are prior to colonialization, okay?
Yes.
And who we were, the identity that was there prior to the education, the business structure, because everything that we are today is a result of European ideology.
Yeah. Yes. And
So,
largely.
okay.
Go ahead.
Okay.
Go ahead.
So I mean, earlier before we went live, you were talking about like even in business,
Yeah.
like there's this disconnect there as far as like people not even like giving themselves the glory or knowing how to eloquently display what steps it took to get to where they are, but they'll give it to God or they'll give it to Allah, you know, versus
Yes.
like, actually these are the steps that I took to get to this point. You know, like we become so discombobulated and only focus on, you know, like European ideas, like everything about us is just something that is not authentic. It's not coming from the root of who we truly are. How will we get back to that place, even as a diaspora who has, you know, a background of possible European mixture, you know, but I focus mainly on the African lineage because that's where I'm drawn. You know, I'm not drawn anywhere else. So, you know, I feel the intensity of African thought. Like I'm interested in that. I'm interested in the root. How do we get to that place? You know, what do you think is missing from this?
Okay. So what is missing is, I said, is the education. Is the race education, is the and so we all have to, you know, there are key writers. There was this preacher in America. His name is Frederick Casey Price. He lives in California. He did a series on race, religion, and racism. Okay. And I had a chance on listening to those series. And I got to know that there was so much I didn't know. Even though I was coming from the land of Nkrumah, Pan-Africanism, all these guys. What may sometimes shock all of us is that the science education that we had. You know, when you were in school, they had these black engineers. I never thought I should ever join it. I didn't see the wisdom in it. For me, that was a mistake. I should have. Because I thought that once I get to all the engineering principles, I'll be fine. And that was not true. You know, so when I got to see that somebody had done these studies, and I started to pick a lot of books to read. I've read a lot. Molefi Asante, I read his book. Some other guys from Senegal. I've read a lot of books on these guys. Different perspective. Because that's where we get to deal with. Somebody will ask you, if you were that intelligent, how did they overcome us? Why are you talking about racism when we have tribalism all over? The problem of Africa is the leaders. They are corrupt. You know? They look at China. China is somewhere, Africa is not developing. When we ask all these questions, it means that we have not studied the subject. And that is so true. Anybody who starts to ask all these questions, and that's why when they come here doing business, they are not able to manage any people because you've got to work with the people. So, for instance, we have work there. We don't even go to the shops, but it's the same our people who are working there. What did we do? We have a training manual. We break things down. We don't just teach them about the sales, about the product. We teach them about what we are going through, the conditioning that they have to gain for them to work with us. When they are working with an Indian, the response is different because there is that color there. When they're working with Chinese, the response is different. When they're working with an European person, but when they're working with your kind, there's also a way they respond. You know? So you have to break it down, teach them. Then you are scared that maybe they will run away, they will not be truthful. You can correct that with the teaching when you break it down. And that means you come through the religion as well. So when the person is good, you take the ownership to say that, yes, I've learned this. It's not just by the grace of God. No, I've learned this. These are the things that are applied. That's why it's working. And it does not mean that you are taking something from, you know, because the way the religion was introduced is that just wait for God to come and free you. You know, it's keeping you in chains. He's giving you the Bible. He's telling you to forgive him. And he's stealing everything that you have, raping your woman, and still telling you that forgive me. Because he gave you the Bible. You know, but he didn't teach you the other side of the Bible. It shows that you must treat a human being as your kind. as you said. So that there's our current understanding of religion is largely coming from the Europeans, and they have never respected us. That's a fact. And they still don't respect us. Look at the world. Look at the billionaires. I'm always amazed why people think that racism is not. Well, look at the billionaires. Who are the guys on the billionaires? Who are they? How many look like me? So that's a threat. When it comes to money and power, that's how they have structured it. Because sometimes when you sit back, you think that the Africans are not wise. It's not true. Because we are not.
Wow, I feel as though you should be on my channel right now. Like we should be discussing this live on my channel. Seriously, because you have a level of expertise that, I've considered within myself, like, okay, things have to change, but how can you go against such a grain when, like you said, the politicians and the leaders may not be as upright as we need them to be, and sometimes I feel that maybe they're lacking inspiration, or maybe they're being controlled by Europe. And the US. So can we talk a little bit about like the mindset that's needed for the diaspora who are abroad, who want to come here to understand truly what it's going to take to reverse the conditions here? Because we have issues, we have all kinds of issues going on in diverse countries, but because we're here in Ghana, one thing that stands out the most to me here in the North, where I'm residing, has to do with waste management, or I just see too much plastic everywhere, just too much. And I'm like wondering, okay, well, indigenous people don't know what to do with plastic. I'll give them that. So there's like a lack of education or knowledge when it comes to plastic does not break down. It has to go somewhere. But there's so much knowledge out there as to converting it into fuel. You see what I'm saying? Like, not one person within the leadership, within the structure that cares about this, or is someone holding them back? So anyways, I don't want to get off into that, but that's what I'm as an example, I'm sharing with you as a diaspora what I'm thinking about and what I want to change once I'm finished with the project. Like, how can I, be of support with regards to that? Now, let's talk about these other diaspora though, that come and have grandiose expectations for the continent. And they come with a Western mentality and want to come and bring that here. What are your thoughts on that though? You know what I mean?
I think that when you come, you must know that these are my people. You must know that, because we welcome you. If I'm sorry to say this, but if you were European, you see the smile, you see the laughing that we are doing here. I have not met you in person before. I see the connection. It's so easy.
Oh, okay.
If I don't see myself as superior to you, and I don't see you as superior to me, we connect there. Even though we have never met. So you come, you have to believe that this is the country I'm part of. It's your own heritage, whether you like it or not. It's your heritage. So I heard somebody say something the other time. He said that we did not denounce those, that's the diaspora. He said that we did not denounce our citizenship when they took us away. So why would they want us to apply for citizenship? And I think that was so profound. So when you come, you have to believe that this is the country for me. You don't have to even come and leave, but this is part of your heritage. Just as the Chinese are coming, they don't even believe here. They don't even believe here. They don't want us to succeed, but they come, they live here, and they mingle with the society. They may think they are better, but they don't show it outside. When you're here, you're very sober. You see them in trotro everywhere, and so you have better chance when you're walking. Nobody knows whether you were born here or not. So that acceptance that I'm part of this heritage is mine, connects. And from there, you see that you have a confidence. You see every problem as not their problem, but our problem. So you said that I have to contribute. I'm ready to do it. And all the hindrances that I'll get is because those people don't know. And that's the fact. Okay, when you are going through the government institutions and somebody is giving you trouble, don't say that, oh, they don't want us to come here. No, because the same misinformation, the same ignorance, a lot of the times, it's not just with people you think are ignorant, but it's across board. Because remember, that kind of education that makes us confident and proud to solve our own problems is still a deficit, So you have to own that this is my heritage. When I come here, forget about what the passport says. When I come here, it is me. I've come to the people. So when I see the problem, it's our duty to solve it. So when you see the waste, they may not connect with the waste, but you can break that awareness. When they are burning the plastics, they may not know the effects there. Because don't forget, all civilizations, the so-called developed countries that we see here, it's not because they were that intelligent. There was conscious education. I've never believed that these guys were intelligent. No. It's conscious education. They educated them through whatever means, the media, and now they live in a particular way. We, intentionally, if you look at our education, it's up until 1957 that there was mass education for every one of us. Before that, it was for the kings and the prominent in society. And what are you going to do with the people that you have not intentionally educated to live in a country that never existed? And so from that time to that time, how many people have we educated? When Ghana was getting independence, it was about 4.5 million people. A lot of them could not read a local language or write. And then when they introduced the Western education, that really came to the fore. That's why the Asantes had to stand up and say that we are not taking this kind of education. It was up until 1900 that they accepted it. And I think they were right. Not have accepted it. Because it is short. So when you are coming, come with the thinking that this is us. The problems where we solve them together. My expertise, the skill sets.
Yeah, because I'm just noticing that there's this trend of diaspora who aren't even born here. They make the biggest complaints, and I wonder, like we all have complaints, but instead, why not say, you know what, I'm going to take up an initiative, or I'm going to write a letter to change this because I'm noticing this. Yes. I'm noticing this when I go to Parliament, or I'm noticing this when I go to this department of, so I'm going to, but instead they'll complain and influence through the media. And I'm like, this is so dangerous.
Yes.
It's dangerous for the economical development, which is occurring rapidly, even through a pandemic. Yeah. So in my opinion, for those who, will soon come, whenever they decide to come, I agree that they should see wherever they're going as this is a we mission, or this is about us. Yeah. Because there's so much knowledge out there. Like when you were speaking regarding wherever, the Europeans were, whatever, they were educated. It wasn't that they were just so intelligent. They had an education or information regarding this, right? And I was like, that is so true, because I remember when I was in first grade, I do believe it was first grade, I remember this campaign, and it never left me. It never left me. And you know what it was? It was 3 words. One of them, I can't remember what it was, but it was recycle and reuse. Okay. It was very simple. It had to do with recycle this. This can be recycled. This can be reused. And I forgot that other one. I'm going to look it up, but it never escaped me. And so when I think about cultures out in Asia, there's this no waste community. I don't know if you've ever seen that. It's a very small community, but they practice zero waste. And so I was like, I wonder how I can, so I'm already thinking how I can do this, because if I'm going to live here, I don't want to do this for myself. I want us to experience this, if you're okay with it, because I know people don't want waste on their lawns or on their land with their animals. Nobody wants that, So with regards to our diaspora, I totally agree with you. It's about us. And the sooner we can adopt this ideology, I think the better, our experience will be. And this thing that they're going around saying we should be on code. I don't know if you pay attention to diaspora vlogs.
I heard you talk about this. I've not watched that video.
Yeah,
but I think that is the same ignorance. It's the same. They are ignorant. If what they are doing, unless they have different reason, they are ignorant. They don't know much. So they don't understand what is going on in Africa. So that's why they make a lot of noise.
Well,
if you want to solve the waste problem, you take it up. Nobody will fight anybody. If you want to solve water problem, nobody. As a matter of fact, when you go, they will give you seat, give you drink, and you tell them. They will welcome you so much.
Yeah, it's true. Yes, I know it's true. Actually, as a matter of fact, when they saw me, they came. Some of the elders from the particular community that I'm building in, they came and visited me one day. And Yoko spoke on my behalf. He said, she has this thing about waste management. What do you guys think about like her coming to the meetings? And they were like, we would love that. And they said, well, please finish your project and we'll talk to you later about it. But they were so happy, just because I had something, to offer. And so I was like, okay, now I need to organize, what am I going to say?
When you live in a new place, what you see is different. The word view you see is different. When you come, or let's say when I visit your project, there are things that I will see. But you would have been there, you've been seeing it all. Anybody who comes in differently will see some things that the other people are not seeing. So the point is, I see waste. I heard you talk about the signs of Bible of churches all across Accra. Me, I live here. I don't see it. But anytime I go to Kumasi, I see the funeral signpost. It's like, Kumasi sign. On funeral.
The church signposts.
Yes.
The signposts for like these elaborate. Okay.
Right. But you saw that. Now I live in Accra. I've seen it, but it was not loud. But I go to Kumasi, it's loud.
Oh, it's along the road going towards Cape Coast.
But the point is, when you come and you say it, they won't fight you. And even if they fight you, forget it. It's the people.
Yeah.
It's the people you want to wake up. It's the people you want for them.
It's one thing I noticed that if you say something to someone who's in a particular position, or they may know someone in a certain position, they'll say, well, let me, see, because when I first arrived, it was something really simple that happened to me. I was new, so I didn't know. I was taking a road trip, I think up to Tom, and I stepped. They so they let us off the bus, and we had to go use the restroom in the dark. So I was not used to. It was just something I had never experienced. I wasn't trying to be. Anyway, I'm in the dark looking for a place to go, and I splashed in urine and got on my feet and my leg, and so of course I was just like, wow. Someone in a high position contacted me and said, we're so sorry that you went through that, but I'm going to submit this, what, you went through to my higher up, to let them know that this is going on so that we can correct that in the future. And so I was like, wow, so that's what I knew, that, the things that we say on the internet is so powerful, and we have to be careful, especially with regards to Mama Africa, because of the sensitivity of, our developments now. Like, there's so much negativity and hate regarding Africans in general, so that's why I'm like, slow down here. Let's just build, let's just work together. And most of all, get to know your community. Yes. Like, get to know your community.
Yeah. Once you assimilate, that's a major part solved. Nothing will frustrate you because now you believe in the country. You cannot succeed anywhere that you don't believe in.
It's true.
The moment you believe in the community, in the continent, the same thing I tell the Africans who are here. You make all the complaints because you don't believe here. The moment you become confident that this is where I am, this is where I've been planted, you start to see all the opportunities. But when you don't believe here, you will never see. So that is key. That's the major thing that you solve right there. And that causes and that's what has helped us to live here no matter what the frustration, because we have no option. That's it. We want to be here to play our part, and we believe here. I build one, you close it down, I build another one. I'm not dead yet, So I'll continue to build until it succeeds. At a point, they will give up. You will start to go, and throughout the process, you are building capacity. So for diasporans, they have to know that there's a mindset that you need for you to be successful here and to live comfortably and for you to be fulfilled here. There's a mindset. You must fish for that mindset. And one of it is that you have to believe that here it takes you must be confident that this is it, and you must own up that this is our community. This is us. The next thing, you must have long-term vision for yourself. Long. It's not one day. It's not 2 days.
Yeah, I completely agree with this. That's interesting that you say this, because when I came, I had no plans on staying here for a long time. I actually wanted my project to be done in about 3 months, which was unrealistic. But even though I'm building and it has its challenges, the more I'm here, the more I'm interested in Ghana. actually.
Okay.
And so I took a trip to Accra recently, and I said, I think I should do this more. The pandemic kind of held me back, but it sat me down in a way to where no longer am I trying to leave Ghana. I'm actually like, you know what, let me go out and explore more and learn more about these different cultures. And so that I'm excited about that, because now I'm beginning to actually believe in Ghana and see the vision from the beginning. This is one of the most Pan-African countries I've been to. And it's probably the number one out of all of them. I haven't been to all of them, of course, but it might be ranking number one, with my own personal experience and being from America. And it's just really interesting. Like, wow, like I've been overcome by the spirit of, I may not be a citizen, but I believe in what Ghana is doing,
But you see, you are talking of citizens. There are a lot of citizens who don't have passport. Where's the proof that they're citizens? Everywhere.
That's true, especially up here. Oh gosh, yeah, we have everyone. And we're just like, it's okay.
They introduce the passport so that they can separate us. They introduce the visa so that they can separate us. They introduce the US so that they can manage us. They introduce the IMF so that they can manage us. A lot of this, and COVID is proving all this.
Big time.
Yeah, that a lot of these were set for the last 500 years, mainly to keep Africa as just a center for all the resources that they need. But we are waking up, So the other thing is that you have to have that sense of destiny, that sense of purpose. You need that. You must know your strength. You must know your weakness. You need that, and then you have to know who to connect with, because this is where I have strength, and this is where somebody else has strength. You connect with that, and that will make you to be able to live here.
I agree. That's why I felt like, just from what I'm observing, that the diaspora that are coming from America in particular, I was like, wow, this Ghanaian American union, a friendship I found is quite fascinating how well they work together. I don't know if you've ever visited with Sister Amicus at One Africa. If you have not,
videos.
If you have not, you and Marie have to. Is it Marie or Mary?
Marie.
If you and Marie have to go there and experience the vibration that's there, because I was like, wow, because Ghanaians and Americans are working together. They're just a family. You don't feel zero disconnect. There's none of that. It's just a family working together, and they've been doing it for years. And so I looked at that example and I said, I want that to be me. I want to have that, and I want to still invite diaspora to come so that I can shove them into this community, because they won't do it. It's many of them that are attempting to build their own communities, and I'm just not an advocate of that. I don't understand it. Why would you want to come and but maybe it's fear. It might be fear.
Okay.
To immerse oneself and to get to know a culture. But I don't know, like even in New Ningo, I noticed that there's a lot of Americans on the beach. There's hardly any culture there to me. Like, it's not.
They separated themselves from us.
Yeah, it's almost like just America all over again. It's extremely boring to me. There's no color, there's no sounds, there's no this or that. And I'm like, you want to be invited to the wedding. You want to come to the funeral. You want things. This is where you get your network and your connections. And not only that, your protection, finding good people,
wow. And that's where you vibrate, that's where your strength, you keep on moving from strength to strength. You have gone through that, you have gone through that, and you have seen that this is it. And that's where you understand the culture, the family settings, everything, and how we think, and the good ones and the bad ones.
Yeah.
So you are
now, don't get me wrong. It's very diverse depending on the region. I mean, we do have some Fulanis here, and at first they were just standoffish to me. I was like, I don't understand. How come they won't speak to me? And one day I decided to look up, well, what do you say? And I was like, oh, okay. Kwalafia, good morning. And then they just lit up like, oh, she took a moment to learn our language. And so that's why I'm like, okay, it's like step by step, learning all of these different nuances are so important for a great experience here. and not being afraid to just say, like just to learn a little bit of the language, especially the greetings, just to get in there, find friends, find family, and just get to know the cultures and not be afraid. I wish that I hope this is my newfound philosophy for diaspora, not be afraid to go and sit down with the families, and because they're going to welcome.
I have learned a lot just by watching your video and others like you. There are a lot of them who live around Cape Coast. There's a gentleman who has a lot of farms, who admire videos with diasporans. And a lot of the time, if I want to become more positive about Ghana, about Africa, I watch your videos.
Mm-hmm. I completely understand. Yeah, you do want to focus more on those who are just moving forward and creating, positive change, because you can get caught up in that loop of complaint. And I refuse to be a part of that. Everyone knows what my complaint is, but I already know I'm going to do something about it one day, because I feel passionately about it. This is, even if I'm only here, how you talked about you should have a long-term vision. I say, you know what? This means I'm going to have to be here for a while, so accept that and start planning what you can do, even if it's something small, within the community. What were you going to say?
You see yes, that's true. You see the Chinese. Yeah.
I see them. Well, not really, but yeah, I know they're here.
They're not complaining.
There is not, because I hardly see them.
Look at the business opportunities.
Maybe on a Sunday. Yeah, they stayed working. Yeah.
They look at anything that maybe they might come with money or not. But I see them. The Lebanese have been here all these years. A lot of them. Even pre-independence. The Israelis are here. Europeans, they come here. They are here. Mm-hmm. When African Americans, Jamaicans come here, they should be here. You see, I couldn't imagine talking to you for, let's say, 30 minutes or an hour. As an African American. This is what technology is bringing.
Mm-hmm.
That's true. I don't know. I've visited some of those countries, but talking and sharing some of these things, no. So how would we even understand ourselves when we are not talking? When we are not bringing it's not the entertainment per se, it's part of it. It's not the other things, but also talking about critical issues that will move all of us forward. Because I don't see the reason, even if you don't want to come to Africa, having some leave America, come here. You have options all the time. And that's the best. It drops the pressure, it drops everything. Once in a while you have problems, but it's okay.
It's the technology that's going to really take us off. When you were speaking, I was thinking about how there was this campaign of no one loves Black American women in America, right? No one loves Black American women because they're so strong, and we should put them with Asian men because no one wants them either. But guess what? When that campaign was launched, there was this extreme increase of Asian men and Black women relationships. And I thought that was really interesting, but they actually, not that I'm in promotion of that, but it made sense, when I start seeing them get together. It's like, well, if there's a campaign against Black women, they're going to find their love somewhere. So with that, if technology is having us to ask questions that as a diaspora and a continental African are actually interested in, but we never had an opportunity to discuss it, that's what this is opening up, and that's why I appreciate it. Because even, I think it was yesterday or the day before yesterday, I went live and we were discussing something regarding a diaspora who are here in Ghana, but they're making all of these complaints. And so all of these Ghanaian men had so much to say, and I was just, this is interesting. And so they agreed with what I was saying, like, look, slow down here. If you have a problem, change it.
That's right.
Just change it. You don't have to promote it and wave a flag about it. Just change it.
Yes. So the education is key. And I think the next one will be reading a lot, studying a lot. YouTube is the biggest university now. Very, very cheap. So very easy. Get a lot of information, more than any other. After all, the information that started in these universities, they were not for us to prosper. They were for the advantage. That's why when I finished university in Ghana, I want to go and live in England. I want to go and live in Canada. I see all the problems in Africa, but I don't see them. Why? Because I was miseducated. I was wrongly educated to serve the cause that's still there, So the information, editing, what to learn, and linking all this to business, to entrepreneurship, to product development, to technology is key. Because the problems are many, from agriculture to construction to housing to health sector, everywhere, to retail. So anybody with any expertise in any field, there will be, yes, we have problems. We still have to educate a lot of our people about this. But I think there are a lot of them too who understand this, and the conversation must continue. And whatever you're doing, God bless you for this, and that's why sometimes we attack the religion, because we have to. You have to leave the people so that they can use their brain. You don't have to tell them that you're not blessed. They are blessed. They just have to go and work. They don't have to get a visa to travel to America to become successful. That's not true. They just need to understand the processes to be successful here. So when people say Africa, there's no opportunity or there's poverty, I just laugh. So you don't understand. You're still talking. You're still talking like if there's no opportunity, you think the Chinese will come here. When you go to the bank and you meet them, they carry something it doesn't show they are poor. They have a lot of money because the opportunities are here. It's the problem. The problem is the way we are looking at the issues ourselves and connecting them to us and interpreting them. We are looking for the government to save it. The government is running on the thing that they left. So I'm not going to spend my time waiting for the government. They are part of they are all part of, they are victims, actually. They are victims because you cannot continue to buy all this. Then your people still live poor. There's a problem. It's a symptom of something that we have to solve. So instead of us waiting for the victim to save us, no, we save ourselves and we continue to push. If they wake up, they meet us. And we will not spend our time living here complaining about what the government is not doing.
Absolutely.
Because they have a lot of, yes, and that's how you survive here. Because the moment you're looking for all these guys to blame, you'll be frustrated. Then you want to move fast, and that's why a lot of Ghanaians will move.
That's why I agree with what you said regarding the leadership, because okay, if there were great leaders, the things that the common citizen actually doesn't like, it would be dealt with easily if the leader actually cared about a situation. Such as myself, if I became a citizen and I was just living day to day, I would be knocking on their door. Please, how do we clean up this plastic? What can we do with the plastic? Did you know that we can ship it to, I think it's somewhere I think it's Belgium or something. They'll actually pay you for the plastic. And I'm like, we don't know about this, So I want to invite you to my channel because I want to talk to you about something you mentioned earlier.
Okay.
Regarding having an engineering degree, being trained in this way, but you found that it was not enough. And then next thing you know, you're an entrepreneur writing books and all of these things. I want to talk to you about that because I have a lot of people with magical degrees that watch me, but are just frustrated and not really understanding their purpose in Europe. Like, why am I doing this? Why am I being educated here? But you were educated in Ghana, but they're educated there, but there's still a discontentment there. You understand what I mean? So I want to talk with you about that, but I want to transfer it over to Eat, Love, Migrate because we need to hear your voice. Wow. We need to hear, because I mean, you and your wife have accomplished so much just eating locally. The reason why I'm saying eating locally is because this is something that we would say in the West, which is very valuable to those who know that it's important to eat seasonally, eating what you grow in certain seasons, like there's a lot of value placed on that. Yeah. And so you're the second person that I've met who is educated here and has been successful in their own right. And I'm just like, these are the people I want to meet. Why are we acting like there's nothing here? Everyone that I've met has a job or they're working for themselves. And it's almost as if like I have to go to Europe in order to be someone, but yet I get all these callers who are so unhappy, and have faced the reality. They face the reality that it wasn't all that it was cracked up to be.
No. Wow. Yeah. Okay, no problem. I'm ready.
So we'll schedule once we're finished here. Yeah, I guess.
I'm ready. Yeah. Okay. So you want other people to join?
Oh no, what I'm saying is once like we'll schedule another time where I bring you on my channel. Yeah.
Right. Okay. No problem.
We're
So
gonna
the
talk
other thing, okay, the other thing that I would say you would have to also look at will be to develop the right set of skills for you to survive or for you to build business. See, once you condition yourself, you're happy. That's good. You're comfortable. You are assimilated in the culture. Now, there's a skill set to build the foundation, and there's a skill set to build the superstructure. You know, and once the foundation is stable, it does not mean you can live in the foundation. You need a skill to build the structure and to finish it so that you can live there. And so some of it will be the entrepreneurial skills that people need. You've got to study about money, learn it. The data that they put in school is wrong. And what it takes for us, for instance, here, interest rate is high. So if you want to start a business here, you don't want to take the loan to start. You know, that's something that you should know. There are so many things that people need. My understanding is that it's better when you are hustling, when you have not much, you start with trading than going into huge projects where it will take some time before you start to get revenue from the project. You know, but when you don't even have to produce the produce or the product, get to the market, start to sell something, bring your management or your customer service skill. Once it starts to work, you understand the market. If you even decide to produce, now you have the channel already. You just have to grow it. You know, so that's where you succeed here. Than bringing all these business plan models and all that. They are good. That is, if you have the resources and you want to go from a very top level. The majority of the people don't have to start from a very high level. Majority of the people just have to look at something that they can solve, whether it's a service, whether it's a product, but basically like nothing. If you go to any of the, let's say if you have ever gone for license from the driver's license department, you get there, you see the boys who are trying to help you. They are in business, they don't have capital. They just have energy. But they can show you what to get with and they charge for commission. If I want to do that to raise 1,000 to start a business, I can do that for the next 6 months. Possibly, I'll be able to raise 1,000 from there and then put it in somewhere that I think I can go into it. So it's not so much getting money to start, it's so much knowing what to do, and the humility to start from zero, no matter your degree or your profession or your network. When you have nothing, start from that level. Well.
I agree. Yeah, I totally agree with that. My approach was quite similar. I mean, well, actually, I've taken loans for a business, and then I know what it's like to save up for a business. I prefer the latter. It actually turned out to be more successful, and I was more proud of myself. And like everything that I did, I mean, I did it from scratch. And so I'm noticing that here, many people build their business from scratch, but they may not have the vision to build it up. You know, that's what I'm noticing. So I guess the knowledge is what's needed, you know, with regards to that.
Yeah.
So how do you feel? So when you say this, as far as the diaspora who are coming here, you're saying that they should adopt more of an entrepreneurial perspective versus.
Yes,
okay.
Yes, it can be a some of them have a very big technical, and you know, they have worked in all these industries. Come, even if you don't want to build a business, start a consultancy. There's so much that there are so many electrical engineers, agricultural engineers, mechanical engineers who have worked in all various industries. There are problems that we have across board. Start a consultancy. You may not even build the business yourself, but you can offer the expertise to somebody. You know, so here we are producing over 300,000 or so graduates every year from higher degree. 10% of them will get a job in a year. The rest, they will wait for the next 10 years to get a job at all. You know, so the whole government machinery is not employing more than 2 million. A lot of them are not even going on retirement, if you don't. So really, the entrepreneurship is the tool for us to withstand all these pressures that are coming. We just have to tool them. We just have to give them proper understanding so that they can think in terms of structures and systems and how to design a business, how to model it, and how to maybe get a working business going in a proper direction. And that will mean that those who are on the ground, like yourself, doing it, not those who are reading about it, those who are doing something, they can connect and teach the people more. You know, because a lot of them have ideas. You'd be amazed. A lot of them have businesses that are getting revenue. They just need some little tuning, and they'll be able to do it and do it well and employ. Because I think the best way for us to develop, get a good government. If you are not in war, the next element is entrepreneurs. Bringing all these guys, leaving them to go and try. A lot of them will fail, but a lot of them will succeed. And if they fail one, they should continue. And for me, that understanding is what the diaspora must come in to look at. I don't like this idea that it's not for everybody. For everybody, water is for everybody. Who told us that it's not for everybody? Money is for everybody. Who told us that it's not? You're solving problems, and problem solving is for everybody. You just have to know what you're doing.
So you didn't expect to become an entrepreneur then after pursuing your degrees?
I didn't know the other side too. I didn't know the other side. So I just wanted to have freedom. When we were in school, we did internship at the Ministry of Engineering, Agricultural Engineering. And when I went there, I saw the engineers, I was not happy. So couldn't see myself there.
Oh, you couldn't see
yourself?
No,
yeah, I didn't want to be there.
He said, I didn't know what to be there.
This is not something.
You did all that education.
So the moment I didn't want to be there, no, I didn't want to be there. I didn't want to. I was not inspired,
Became a doctor and just decided, no, not for me. But I understand. I know plenty of law professionals all the way. Studied for their bar exam, passed it, and said, it's not for me. No. So I understand.
No. You go through it, you try this, it doesn't work, you try this, it doesn't work, you try this, it doesn't work. But what stabilizes was the fact that, listen, this is where I want to make it work. This is where I want to make it work. And that, for me, was the foundation. So then you try everything. You try this. Then you are becoming better. Because it's a school on its own. Entrepreneurship is a school opposite the one that they told us. The one that they told us was to get a job. That's the fact. They just give you a nice title. They give you a penny. They give you a little personal salary. You say you are. It's just a polish something. But really, it's just still under subjugation. They control your time. They control what they have to pay you. Financial independence is never in the chain until you have different knowledge, because they don't teach the school. They don't teach money in school. They intentionally don't teach you how to become wealthy in school. They teach you so that you become a force to feed the industry. It's just another trust.
Yeah. Wow.
So for you to get the other side, then, and if you don't have it, then you have to just go through it, read a lot of books, try. You make a lot of mistakes, but if you don't give up, within 10 years, you'll see results.
Nice.
That's true. Nice. That one I can bet my head on that. 10 years, continuous learning, failing and rising, falling. You will find something that works. And that's why the young must start early. If you're young, then go in there, try anything. It wakes you up. You start to see. Because school puts you into sleep. That's why when a lot of our big men across Africa, they need the government structure to survive, to become important. They cannot build the structure themselves. To build it, you need an entrepreneurial mind. To build something from ground up. Skill to build anything. And that is the whole school that is on its own. And the path is not smooth. You're going to extract a lot of things from yourself, and you're going to put a lot in yourself. And that's why you need confidence. Self-confidence is so critical. Absolutely. Because without it, you can't try anything. So if somebody tells you that take that confidence out, is making you small. Because the failure rate is there. There will be so many people talking to you. Why? That's why the 99%. The 99% is in the employment and the other areas. They carry on the government machinery. 1% is in entrepreneurs. And those are the ones solving problems, no matter the scale. They think differently. You meet the woman who's selling the provision shop around your area, talk to them, you see. It's the same wisdom as the top entrepreneur.
Can you come closer? Say that one more time. I didn't hear that last part. The woman that was.
If you meet, you look at your area, the woman who is selling something on the street, the provision shop, talk to her and see. The mindset is the same as any big entrepreneur anywhere. The only difference is the structure the structure to grow the business.
Yeah, the confidence, all of that. Yeah, I was at the post office yesterday, and a man walked in, and he said he was selling some juice or something, and he's talking to all the workers, and he says, "You want 5, right? You want 5 of these?" And he had everyone laughing, and he had his daughters behind them with the juice on their head. And I'm telling you, I know by the end of the day, he sold all of them because of his confidence. He believed in his product.
That's right. Yes. So that's key. It's key, and it's a philosophy across board. You can go to anywhere in the world, you see that this is how they think. They believe in themselves. They believe that they can solve problems, and they keep fighting. They are persevering. They are resilient. They resist falling down. And when they fall, they get up. They keep fighting, and you can see that they find they're always asking questions. They're always asking questions. How do I do this better? How do I do this better? Always there. And that's why they keep learning. They may not even read book. They may not even understand. They may not even be able to write. But if you interview them, it's the same content. It's the same. So
good stuff. I have nothing more to add.
If we put you with any other entrepreneur anywhere, I can tell you the things that you say, 99% say. But the way you see life is different.
Okay. Cool. Thank you.
Thank you.
Cool. Wow. Do we have anything? What's that?
So now maybe we can wrap up. And it's an honor to meet you. And my greetings to you.
Thank you very much. Yeah, I'll let them
all
know.
the things that you're doing for us. I mean, for us means that us together, not the family, the global family.
It's just a start for me. At the end of the day, you do what you can, and so I'm doing what I can and what I have the ability to do, and hopefully it will expand, with time, so that I can reach more people. I would love that.
Wow. So thank you so much.
Thank you. So I will be in touch with Marie, your lovely assistant, so that we can schedule you on my file.
No problem. That'll be an honor.
Thank you so much.
Thank you.
Have a wonderful day. Yeah.
Thank you. Thank you.
Bye.
So thank you very much for watching. Yes, amazing woman. Thank you so much. In a lot of places as well. She's actually at Tamale doing massive projects there. The mindset is different. She respects, she connects with the community, and she believes in herself, and that's what you need to succeed here. So thank you for watching.